Thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is Galactic Ambassador Night or something like that. Galactic President Night. Something like that. How many people out there see themselves as like a secret alien president or some kind of influence somewhere? I imagine there's quite a few actually, but yeah, it doesn't mean that might not be true. Who knows? At least in some version of Earth, or there's definitely galactic ambassadors here for sure. I guess I was gonna put that in the title. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow if I can remember. Definitely, yeah, galactic ambassadors, definitely. And that's just diplomatic stuff that's going on here. As you watch the world go to do what it's doing. Of course, the disinfo agent energy I'm talking about. Kind of a low-key Peter Pan energy, which is kind of disgusting. Yeah, having a blast out there. Talking about programs. If you're saying program all the time and new information, that's kind of like a red flag. Yeah. And coming off as the everyday person, too. I'm just like you guys. Yeah, right. I'm sure you are. Yeah, well, hopefully some are wising up a little bit due to the numbers of disinfo agent person or persons. Obviously, man, you're not seeing it. You know, the number should be 0 instead of in the thousands. Let's put it that way. But whatever, who cares? That's why you incarnate, a few thousand times. If you're trying to figure that out. If not, then, whatever. The Kool-Aid's there to drink, though. Yeah, and discernment has been so weaponized and manipulated. It's funny how the disinfo agents say discernment when they're the ones shoveling out all the garbage. Yeah. Yeah, they don't say just don't listen to us. And if they do say us, I don't trust them. Yeah, well, either way, they're allowed to be here and do their thing because people here have to learn. So, the abuser is allowed to abuse. Until people figure it out and fight back. You don't see much of that going on. That's for damn sure. So, you can just mention it a little bit and just let it be. Catholic Church has been doing it forever, and other religions have been doing it forever. So now the alien religions or alien groups are doing it. Is there a safe space out there? No, not really. When there is, you just gotta be careful, I guess. So, yeah, here to open some eyes. After I'm long gone, dead, someone might give a shit. Maybe. I don't really care, to be honest with you. As long as I'm out of here, I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Sometime, maybe. Private sessions. My shop here. Come on, man. Work. There you go. Uh-oh. Yep. It's all messed up. I'm not sure if they even work. I think it did. I got something else open here. And screw it, just leave it. Make sure all systems go here. Okay. So yeah, I was going to tap into like an alien president energy. Yeah, we're going there. Might as well, right? Something different. Doing the same thing over and over again. To give him more of a gag. Well, I mean, whatever, take it seriously or not, whatever. It's not for entertainment purposes, for purpose. Yeah, obviously the human collective is not ready for it, or not looking for it, or just trying to self-destruct or something like that. Oh yeah, fun here. Yeah, fun. Like I said, was the last one. The fun here sucks. Well, when you have to have alcohol and the police around, yeah, fun here is kind of it's more mind control and brainwashing when you think about it. If you have fun without alcohol, I know that sounds boring, but you just have to try a little bit. I don't know. Instead of being distracted all the time and figure yourself out, which is not part of society. Society is all about distractions, not knowing yourself. So take the leap and figure yourself out, which you're not going to get that anywhere, like schools or anything like that. They're going to tell you shit. It's like basically the school's like, you're screwed. This is what we're teaching you. You're screwed. Welcome to hell. We're just saying it in a more civilized manner, sort of. Of course, your parents probably didn't teach you about life, so this place is probably going to beat the shit out of you. And most of these kids aren't loved anyway, so they're going to beat the shit out of you. Jesus. Boy, is that the truth of it. Yeah, most kids just don't forget love from their parents, so yeah, welcome to hell, right? So they'll find love somewhere, right? And if it ruins them and destroys them, that's just the way it is for right now. But yeah, figuring out oneself is obviously not taught by parents. Parents, yeah, sometimes want to get rid of their kids after they're born or whatever, not wanted, or that is maybe not. Well, yeah, because they have these like hippie kids that have kids and don't know themselves, and now they have this kid thing that's here now, ruining their fun. And now the parents have to grow up. That's so common. And it's just, it'd be nice if parents actually gave a shit about their kids. But, maybe an alternative reality somewhere. That's okay. Some do. Most don't. Probably not. And, but yeah, self-love, self-understand, for the kid to understand themselves. Of course, the parents have to understand themselves too. See, how can you teach that when you don't even know it? It's like, so, yeah, but yeah, understanding oneself is really, because and then you can find fun without being manipulated by society, without having a Peter Pan trickster messing with you and looking for weaponized positivity. Manipulated positivity that's working really well. Yeah, these spiritual groups are fucked. Yeah, it's all positive. Yeah, it's all positive manipulation, majority of it, and it's working. It's like, welcome to your next 1,000 lifetimes. If you're trying to improve. But your human self just can't quite, I just need a positive message because I can't figure myself, I don't know how to do it. Obviously not taught, because parents don't know shit. Most of them don't. They might know materialism and how to create a profession, possibly, depending, which is not a bad thing, but obviously, who the hell am I? Who am I? Even the parents don't even know that. They might have some idea, possibly, but they don't know how to teach it or figure it out. So anyway, the lost is teaching the lost, basically. Pretty much, the lost is raising the lost. And because then all these manipulations started to break down. You don't need alcoholism to have fun. You can figure out what fun is without all the distractions. I mean, society's kind of breaking down already, but it's just falling into decay. It's not really figuring itself out. That's why some people become homeless, because you'd be surprised it's hard, but sometimes they have to go in that direction to figure themselves out. And I think there's some that's actually making some progress. Maybe it's a little bit. Doesn't have to go to the extreme, but some need to do that, or it's just no self-love, or whatever the hell it is, self-destruction. Partying to, burn the burn the candle on both ends, that type of situation. But to get to a higher state of consciousness is not going by, yeah. I mean, it's going to be distractions, and sometimes it's not so bad, depending, but as long as you go back to yourself and try to figure yourself out, and just like, yeah, that's why you ask inner questions about who you are, past life stuff. Some get kind of crazy with the SSP stuff. It's like, yeah, I want to tap in all the times I've been tortured to death, because I want to brag about it to all my friends how bad I had it in other realities. So you get so disconnected from who you are here. Yeah, you're connected to the aliens all the time. Someone can channel them all the time. They're looking for messages constantly, and that doesn't mean you're figuring yourself out. You're just that's actually another distraction. So when you're here as a human, it's time to figure out what this is. And when you figure it out, then other people knife you, trash you, because you're not playing by the rules anymore, and they're not playing by their mind control that they're used to. So you're not a player. You're not just part of the system. You're outside the matrix, basically. And it's not what it's cracked up to be. But would you rather be who you are, or just be like everyone else and lost and confused and just copying each other, doing their version of somebody else, basically, and not getting anywhere. So even the same vocabulary, even the same verbiage, that someone says that word and you copy it because you don't know what the fuck you are. So yeah, maybe it's hip to be not everybody else. Maybe one day. Right now it's hip to be like everybody else, just deprived and debauchery is self-destruction. Yeah, telling everyone you have a relationship. And that's the other thing, is you brag that, oh, I have this boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It's like, yeah, but that's nice. It's like telling people you have, like, it was what is it called? It's like Caesar, like salad dressing in your salad. Yeah, but does their salad taste like shit? It's like, so yeah, but is it something that sucks? Probably. Just like not knowing yourself, you're probably with someone that blows, probably. Not always, but usually that's the case. Or they're just been controlled by the other. And that is a big one of, you might be in this great relationship, maybe, but you're being mind controlled by that person, though. Which is very common. I'm not going to use the verbiage, it's the slang, but the guy's being controlled by the woman, or vice versa. And the mind manipulation can be very subtle. It doesn't have to be violent. It can be just quiet, and some people feel like they're out of those relationships and then they just walk right into another one, but they're bragging to everyone they're in a relationship. It's like, yeah, but is it making you better, or are you a slave of that person? Do you know who the fuck you are? Probably not. Most cases, no. Most cases, no. About 90% no. So you can brag to everyone what the fuck you have. It's like most of them don't like. And then they say you're negative and all that. Yeah. The truth hurts. That's why when you're dead, people appreciate it. But I'm not dead yet, so for whatever reason. I guess there's some gas in the car for some reason. I don't fucking know why, but whatever. When it's over, it's over. And yeah, it's like you give it all, your all, and no one cares, and who cares, and just like, well, that place is fucked. So anyway, not that matters. Yeah, understand oneself and just good with yourself, and the world's going to continue to be lost. And just, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know what they do. It's like you put what you can to a world, and people just don't care constantly, just, and they just keep living the same life for the next 1,000 years and think, talking about the new Earth until the year 10,000 or 9,000 or whatever it is. I want to do a reset of the timeline. They just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, you see no sign of any new Earth or anything. Like, at least the lollipop reality that someone were talking about. There's absolutely no sign of it. More like the Mad Max version, as we're seeing. That's more like the version that is on the cusp. Not to say that would happen, but it's more likely, whatever. So, either way. So, yeah, there's a lot of things out there. Of course, the New Age energy, obviously, that's another religion to some level. It's all about parents, looks, narcissism, and just taking all the Lion's Gate and all the other stuff, all the spiritual modalities, and just manipulating the shit out of people, connected to the Arcturians or wherever. And you can connect to a more raw side of the Arcturians or the aliens and get something decent, maybe. Or you can just do connect to the postcard version. So yeah, it's tough. Of course, we can't always know everything either. And that's if people want to know about the aliens and all, I want to know all the information about all the aliens. Like, it doesn't really matter. Is that going to do you any good here? I mean, does anybody care about the aliens? No, nobody gives a shit. That's another way of not knowing yourself. It's another distraction, basically. You know about the secret space program. It's another distraction, basically. You know some stuff about it, but it's like, unless you have to do some inner knowledge, inner knowing. Yeah, that's one thing, but do you need to know about everyone else's experience? Because is that gonna do anything for you? How many times been eaten by, the garbage pail kids in another dimension or something? Eaten by the cockroach people? You need to brag about that? That sounds like a kindergartner would talk about. And maybe not. Maybe. It's hard to say. Depends on the upbringing. Yeah, the kids your parents don't give a shit about you. Probably talking about cockroaches, probably. You might be the nicest person there, looking for a friend. My mom and dad destroy each other. So, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, we're going to alien. I don't know why was the point of it, but the alien president energy. Just for a short time. Not that it matters, but anyway, yeah. All right. So energies are blessings. Grease you. The alien energies were actually from Uranus. Not necessarily a president of here. That's your Earth's turn. But there are beings that are watching over your world, so you don't just to. You can say protect you from yourselves, to nurture your world until you figure things out about yourselves, give you hints, but not to, you wonder about the soul growth situation. The idea is to, yes, figure out one's mystery. But you have to do it. This is why you're not getting all the hardcore information that you feel like now you can do this in astral, but astral, doesn't mean you know yourself there either. As a human, you're figuring out this human, like what you're doing with it. That's why you come here with a blank slate. It's like, you're incarnated as a human. What do you plan? You're going to paint yourself a different color, put tattoos over yourself, drive around in a bizarre car? What is it that you're going to do with this? And they might do all the exterior stuff, but the person within, it's like, yeah, you might know about all these friends and talk to everyone, and have maybe the best personality out there, but do you even have any clue who you are? And that's just, your society is all about, surviving reality, but not one, usually no, it's not directed towards who you want to be, or not. To some level it does that, but it doesn't really go like truly within, like, how do you figure oneself out, one's identity. Yeah, it's going within is one way of wording it, but that doesn't really it really is still very general. Find one's identity is and you're not always meant to, broadcast this out there either. Meaning, let them figure it out. Every once in a while it might come up. But if some are just nowhere near it, so distracted. But that's the Earth process. As on alien worlds, we are instantly, it's all about who we are, what we can do, and not that we can profit off of it and show off. It's not about those things, as your world has a lot of that. It's interesting though, like actors, like the child stars. It's interesting that you are acting like other people, and sometimes that's for them to figure out their identity. But there are cases where they are actually there to focus on who they are, like their acting ability, where they can activate that and to use it. And so they are kind of figuring themselves out without even knowing. So there is a bit of sense of self there being discovered. And once again, it is not going to be advertised everywhere to figure out oneself, because it really has to do with, you will find it if you're there. So it's not put on billboards or all that. Even if it was, people just weaponize it anyway. It's like, the individual has to be, find it on their own if they're at that level. And you can be at any level. You can be 5 or 6 years old. You don't have to be, old or anything like that. Obviously, there's a lot of those that are elder that have no clue who they are. You can be 99 years old and just have no idea who you are. You might have some idea, but they haven't quite figured out, who am I? And even that word, who am I, is kind of complex. Because do they want to know? It's something that and once again, yes, how many in these relationships, like, you might have an idea who you are to some aspect, but your partner could be completely clueless. And that's why you're with a psychopath sometimes, or the most nicest person in the world, and still doesn't know themselves. So that answer of self, and it does go back to self-love, but it's like, use a technical word, it's like self-maintenance. Not just on the exterior level, comb your hair and all that, but also just, hygiene, which is still exterior. It's like, who's the identity of the soul is kept from you. This weaponized reality. That's you're looking for the answer. Of course, you find your own answers, but really just finding the soul. It's not going to put itself on billboards and constantly tell you. Like I say, it's, you'll find it when you're ready to find it. Blessings.